Level 1. The Game. You are 9. Your tutor is a churchman named William, and he's teaching you Latin, which you hate, and horsemanship, which you don't. The courtyard is full of noble boys your age, and today's game is simple. Grab the forearm. Don't let go. Whoever lets go first loses. You never lose. Your arm gets torn up, nails and knuckles, and you don't even blink. The other boys think you're brave. William isn't watching the game, he's watching your face. He already knows what bravery actually is, and it isn't this. Level 2. The word nobody says yet. William sends for a physician. The physician takes your arm and runs a blunt needle along the skin. Nothing. He does it again, closer to the wrist. Still nothing. You think this is a trick, some new tutor's game. It's not a game. There's a word for what's happening to you, and in the year 1170, that word is a death sentence with extra steps. Nobody says it to your face yet. You're still the king's only son. Saying it out loud makes it real, and nobody in this palace is ready for real. Level 3. The throne nobody wants. You're 13. Your father dies on campaign. Gut sickness, unglamorous. The kind of death that doesn't get a song written about it. The crown lands on your head anyway. The barons kneel. Some of them mean it. Most of them are doing math. A sick boy on the throne is either a tragedy or an opportunity. And in this kingdom, those two things pay about the same. Your mother gets pushed out of the room. William becomes the only person who looks at you and sees a king instead of a countdown. You're the ruler of a strip of land wedged between the sea and several armies who'd like nothing more than to take it. And somewhere south, a Kurdish general named Saladin is quietly stitching Egypt and Syria into a single fist. He wants what you're sitting on. Level 4. The diagnosis has a name now. You're 15. The disease has a name, and everyone in the palace knows it. Leprosy. Your right hand is starting to curl. You can still write, still ride, but the skin along your forearm has gone waxy and grey in patches. Physicians try remedies that don't work because nothing works. There is no cure in this century. There won't be one for another 800 years. You are, technically, supposed to be living in a colony outside the city walls, ringing a bell so healthy people can get out of your way. Instead, you're wearing a crown. The irony isn't lost on anyone. It's just that nobody's in a position to do anything about it. Level 5. Montgizard. You're 16. Saladin crosses the border with roughly 26,000 men, marching straight for Jerusalem, confident enough that he lets his armies spread out to raid along the way. You have somewhere around 500 knights and a few thousand infantry, and your barons tell you to sit tight behind stone walls and wait it out.
We must strike their main stronghold now!
Sire, you must agree to this plan.
You get on a horse instead. Your hand can barely hold the reins, so a knight straps your arm to the saddle. You catch Saladin's scattered forces near a hill by the coast, and you don't wait for a fair fight. You charge into the gap while his army is still strung out and undefended. It is not a fair fight. It's just not fair in your favor for once. Saladin's army breaks apart and runs. He escapes on a racing camel, alone, having briefly lost his entire war. You ride back into Jerusalem, a legend. A 16-year-old leper just humiliated the most dangerous man in the Muslim world. And for exactly one night, the disease is not the main character of your life. Level 6, the court is the real war. You're 19. The disease keeps its schedule regardless of what you won on a battlefield. Your face has started to change. You wear a veil in public now, sometimes gloves, sometimes both. The victory at Montgisard bought the kingdom time, not you. Your body doesn't take truces. Your sister Sibylla, next in line if you die without an heir, marries a minor French noble named Guy of Lusignan, a man with excellent hair and no discernible judgment. The court splits instantly.
We must decide before the king returns.
I do not trust his intentions.
What will become of us?
A faction backing you and your regent, a faction backing Guy, and a third faction that just wants to be owed a favor by whoever wins. You realize somewhere in here that the real siege isn't Saladin's. It's happening in your own throne room, and it never lifts. Level 7, the mask. You're 20. Your legs are failing. You lose most of the feeling in your hands. You commission a silver mask because if people are going to stare, they can stare at metal instead of what's underneath it. Guy of Lusignan, now effectively running military affairs in your name, breaks a truce with Saladin by attacking a merchant caravan. A caravan that, inconveniently, included Saladin's own sister. You strip Guy of his authority in front of the entire court. It costs you politically. You do it anyway. You appoint Raymond of Tripoli regent instead. Cautious, competent, unloved by almost everyone, including you. You can't walk into that room under your own power anymore. You can still make it obey you. Level 8, the litter. You're 21. Saladin invades again, laying siege to a fortress near the Sea of Galilee. Raymond hesitates to engage, too cautious or too smart, depending who you ask. You're blind in one eye by now and can't stand unassisted, so you have yourself carried to the front on a stretcher. The army has seen kings ride to battle. They've never seen one carried into it. Saladin gets word that the banners of Jerusalem are approaching, personally, king included, and withdraws rather than fight you again. You don't lift a sword. You don't need to. Your name does the work your body can't anymore. It's the last battlefield you'll ever see, and you don't even get to stand on it. Level 9, ruling in the dark. You're 22. Your eyesight is gone entirely. You dictate letters from bed and have servants describe rooms you'll never see again.
Sire, look at the beautiful morning outside.
Your body has stopped resembling a body in any way that matters. What's left is a mind that still works, and you use what's left of it to make sure the crown skips both your sister and her husband. You name your infant nephew heir instead, over Guy's objections, over half the court's objections, over what is probably your own quiet understanding that a baby on the throne is barely better than what you're trying to prevent. You make the barons swear it to your face. You can't see whether they mean it. You've stopped expecting that they do. Level 10, the price. You're 24. It's 1,185. Spring, apparently, though you can't feel the sun on skin that stopped feeling anything years ago. Your co-king nephew is 6 years old and thinks this is all a very long, very boring church service. You've spent 11 years ruling a kingdom that was actively trying to fall apart in 3 different directions at once, and you did it with a body that medically should have quit on you before you turned 15. The servants change your bandages one last time. There isn't a version of this where you get better. There never was one. From the moment a tutor pressed a candle to your arm and you felt nothing, the crown comes off. 2 years after you're gone, Guy of Lusignan,
Forward, men! Let's ride!
the man you spent your entire reign trying to keep away from real power, leads the kingdom's army into the desert at a place called the Horns of Hattin and loses it in an afternoon. Jerusalem falls to Saladin the same year. Everything you held together with a decomposing body and sheer refusal collapses within 24 months of your funeral. You bought the kingdom 11 extra years it didn't know how to use. That's not nothing. it's also not enough. It was never going to be enough. You just didn't have anything better to do with the time you had than spend all of it holding the door shut.